Well, good morning, everybody. This is what everything looked like in my kitchen on Saturday morning. This is a few days worth of stuff just being able to sit out. And if you look, even on the floor, Josie has dragged out socks. She loves to go and grab socks wherever she can find them, and she just drags them all over the house. That's my kitchen table. Stuff from the week, mail, papers to grade, big giant thing of waters, my lunch box, an empty pizza box that my husband had pizza, and it's just a hot mess. So I took Josie out. It had rained earlier, and she loves to go out and sniff around when it rains, so she walked all around the yard, sniffing everything. I have no idea what she smells, but she thinks she smells something. She was very intense about it, y'all. She was checking every square inch of the yard out to make sure her territory was safe. Now she's ready to go in, have her breakfast. So I made just a little breakfast for myself. I just had some leftover biscuits with jelly and butter and some coffee. I always open the windows first to let in some light. This is how my little seedlings are doing. You can kind of see there. All my stuff is starting to grow. And I watered everything real quick. That's my cucumbers in the front there. And I've got several cans with carrots in the back. I'm going to have to probably put this stuff in a little bit bigger container. I really didn't want to have to transplant them twice, but I may have to, especially the carrots. They're pretty squished up there. But I have plenty of containers, and plenty of soil, so I could do that. So I just water everything. It loves that window. It gets light all day from that window. Over here I've got my spinach. That long container is all spinach. And then the little container in the front isn't doing too well. That is radishes. So I may have made a mistake with that. I mean, I have a few, but not really that much. So I've got some coffee grounds there to put on some things. Now I'm going to get a load of laundry going. I had one load going earlier. Moving this over to the dryer. Just pretty much I save up everything for Saturday. Since it's just the two of us now, I can pretty much get it all done in about 3 loads for the week. And it's just easier for me to do it all at one time. So I kind of wish I had, a front loader for both. I don't know, maybe that wouldn't be any easier, but so I'm going to get that going and be able to do some other stuff while that's running. I really can't complain about laundry since the machine does everything for me. I just use the store brand of the fabric softeners. They work really good. I like that lavender scent that they have. And I had already cleaned out the lint trap. I just didn't show that part. I do that every time. I'm just scared of a fire. So I got another load going in. This is mostly my stuff here. I usually do towels and stuff first and then clothes. I don't really even separate stuff by color that much because I wash everything in cold. And I've found I don't really need to separate it. So I'm using the Sun brand, the Sun detergent. It seems to work pretty well, and it's one of the least expensive. And I'm just checking that everything got left on cold because my son washes in this sometimes, and he likes to turn it on hot. So I'm going to go outside and check the little Hummingbird Feeder. I knew I didn't have anything in there. I bought some hummingbird and butterfly nectar at the store, and I'm going to fill that up. And then my bird feeder is empty. I bought a big bag of seeds for songbirds. I'm going to be filling both of these up for the birds and the butterflies. I don't know if we have butterflies yet, but I did read a thing about the hummingbirds already starting. So I don't know if it's true or not, but I want to make sure I have food out for them if they are. I tried making my own last year and I did get a few, but I'm going to see if this stuff works better. I love this bird feeder. It's really easy to fill and put together. You really just unscrew the top, screw it back on. The birds love it. And it doesn't seem like it makes as big of a mess as some other bird feeders I've had. I'm thinking about getting a second one for the front yard, maybe even a second one for the backyard. I'm trying to attract more birds. So as many feeders as I can get, that should do the trick. So it's all full now. Close it up. You can see I'm doing this one-handed, and it's really simple. You just make sure you've got it lined up, which I didn't at first, and then you just screw that little top, and then it's on. It's very sturdy. Now the hummingbird feeder, you just unscrew that whole top, that whole dome thing, and flip it upside down and fill it up that way. So trying to do that one-handed here. Josie's making sure everything's going okay in the rest of the yard while I'm doing this. You can see her in the background a little bit there. That was a little hard. I couldn't do it one-handed because it doesn't sit up straight. So now I've got it filled, and you can see I just flip it over, and there it is. And then they come to the little plastic flowers on it, and it's got the little tubes in it. I haven't seen a lot of butterflies around it, but I definitely did get hummingbirds last year. They seem to like it. And then all those flowers that are there that are going to be springing back to life in a few weeks, those attract butterflies and hummingbirds also. So I'm going to go hang this back up, back here by the fence. That's where they like to go. And I did have my little bird bath back there, but it seemed like it had a little fountain in it that was solar and it wasn't getting enough sunlight. So now I'm coming in and I'm going to tackle this kitchen. Now, my husband already did a load of dishes in the dishwasher, so that's full. But I'm going to do the other dishes that were just kind of left over from last night and yesterday morning that didn't fit in the dishwasher. I'm going to do those by hand. I can't clean if there's dishes everywhere. I can't. That's the first thing I have to do is get the dishes done and then clean the counter really good. And today I even Cloroxed the front of all my cabinet doors. So I get the water really good and hot and soapy. And then I just start to it. Now, when I was in high school, they had a class called home ec. I don't even know if they offer that anymore, but half of the year they taught you about cooking and cleaning and things like that. And the second half of the year they taught you about sewing. Well, sadly, I don't know what happened to me the second half of the year, but I did not get the sewing gene from my mother for sure. But I remember we had to cook different recipes and things, and then we had to clean up the kitchens. There was all these little kitchens that you would work in. And I remember they taught us the correct way to hand wash dishes. And there was an order to it. Like you were supposed to rinse your silverware and you put all your silverware down in your hot water first. And you just let it sit there while you were washing everything else. Obviously, I did not follow all of those rules because here I am washing a pair of tongs. But it really is a good idea because then your silverware sits there and it soaks in that hot soapy water for the entire time that you're washing everything else. And then they told you to do your glasses, your drinking glasses and cups next because they were the least dirty. They didn't usually have anything sticky or anything like that on them. Then you did your plates, and then last you did your pans. And now this pan here, all it had in it was liquid. It wasn't that bad. So normally I do that. I usually do save my pans for last. But I've never forgotten that. Oh, and the other thing is that, they always taught us don't put any sharp knives down in the water. And my mother actually cut her hand really bad one time by having a sharp knife down in that soapy water and you can't see it. And she reached down there and cut her hand. So I am pretty particular about that. I set all of the sharp knives over in the other part of the sink until I'm done with everything, or at least until I'm ready to do the pans, and then I'll do the sharp objects last because I remembered that. And I just thought that was, they used to give such good advice in those kind of classes. And I don't even know if they offer those classes anymore. They probably think they're too old-fashioned. But, I mean, we're still human beings and we still eat out of dishes. And some people don't have dishwashers. Or, some people, if you live alone, it may take you a long time to have enough dishes built up to fill a dishwasher. So you probably do wash dishes by hand. And it would just be good to know that, the most efficient way to do that. And so I think it's still a good thing that probably kids need. The other thing they taught us in that class, I remember they used to teach us how to create like a grocery list and how to create a week of menus for dishes that we were going to make. And it didn't always have to be recipes. It could just be, look, I'm planning this out so that when I go to the grocery store, I'm not impulse buying and I know what things I need. All of that is just good money-saving ideas. I took another class in high school that they taught us how to balance a checkbook. And again, I know that seems kind of old-fashioned maybe, and I don't even write a lot of checks now. But to me, that's just life skills. We have a lot of people that don't really know where their money's going. I was one of them for a long time. And even though I had that class, but when I got caught up in life, I was not real good at managing my money for a long time. But I just think, some people, that's the only place they would learn something like that. So to me, those type of just daily living skills, those are good. And, school might be still a good place to at least offer the classes. And there I am washing the sharp knives. I do, like I said, I do those close to the end or very last just because I don't want to, accidentally stab myself with a knife that's down in the soapy water. So that is pretty much how I did that. And after I got all these dishes done, I had a couple more over here, but after I got all these done, then, I give the sink a good cleaning and the countertops and everything. I give all of those a good scouring. And it just, I don't know, it makes everything feel clean when there's not a bunch of dishes there. And when you know that your countertop doesn't have crumbs on it and it is not all sticky and gunky and everything. And my husband's great about loading that dishwasher. He really is, and he's very good at it. I'm not, but he is. But he just never, rinses off or washes off the counter. And so to me, that kitchen's not clean until the counter, I take everything off, move stuff out of the way, and I get back behind things and really clean it off good. I've got an apron on here too because when I'm washing dishes, I tend to kind of splatter stuff, and I have an apron collection, and again, that may be old-fashioned, but I don't really care. It protects my clothes, and plus I think some of them are pretty, and so I collect the pretty ones. I've bought some at places like World Market. Let's see. I'm trying to remember. I think I've bought a couple of them at Walmart when they had some kind of cute ones. I'm pretty sure I've gotten a couple at Tuesday Morning. I've heard Tuesday Morning is going out of business, but they have some really cool stuff from time to time. But I know I've bought several aprons at World Market, which I heard they went out of business too, sadly. I love that place. It's kind of like today's version of Pier 1 that was popular back in the 70s and 80s. And they have stuff from all around the world imported. They have that apron that I'm wearing there, I know I got that at World Market, and it has hummingbirds, and it may even have, I think, it has flowers and hummingbirds on it, and I like it. It's more thin than some of the others, but I just think it's pretty. So now I'm done washing the dishes, so I just kind of give everything on the sink a good scrub down. And then after I do all that, I'm going to disinfect it. I clean it first, and then I spray on Clorox, that Clorox cleaner, and I disinfect everything too, and kind of shine it up real good. Well, here is the finished kitchen. Like I said, I didn't show everything. I cleaned the front of the cabinets and everything, and I scrubbed everything down, my stove and my dishwasher, and I think it looks a lot better. And there is my kitchen table, all cleared off. I'm pretty happy with it.